Hi there, my name is Riaan, and in this session I will teach you how to draw a cylinder and a cone. An example of a cylinder in nature is a tree, a lamppost and arms. Jenna will explain the steps while I do the drawing.
In this video, Riaan will show you how to draw a cylinder and cone using the STAEDTLER Tradition pencils. We will start with an HB pencil and draw a cylinder on the left and a cone on the right. It is always a good idea to draw a vertical center line when drawing cylinders and cones. Make sure your vertical lines are parallel to the sides of the page to ensure the shapes stand perfectly upright. Draw horizontal lines to make sure the ovals that follow are perfectly horizontal. Start by hovering the pencil over the page and draw an oval in the air. Then gradually bring down the pencil to draw a very light oval. We will touch on perspective in the near future. In this tutorial, remember that the top of the cone will be more narrow than the bottom. This will become clear in the perspective tutorial. Remember to keep the edges of the cylinder parallel to the side of the page. Try to make the cone's oval the same size and shape as the bottom of the cylinder. Check that the cylinder is symmetrical by using your pencil as a measuring tool. Draw the diagonal lines from the center line that you created earlier. Turn your page to make drawing those straight lines easier. Let's imagine the light is coming in from the top right-hand side. This will create highlights on the right side of our shapes and darker shades to the left. Now might be a good time to clean up any harsh guidelines before we start shading. Time to switch from the harder HB to a softer B pencil. Always start light and build up the darker values. At a third of the cylinder, you want to make it darker. This is the area that receives the least light. Don't be scared to go a bit harder. We will clean up with the kneaded eraser where we have gone over the lines. Make the shading lighter as you get closer to the middle of the cylinder. Now shade the far end of the cylinder as it turns away from the light. Keep adding values to your cylinder to create a smooth transition from light to dark. Now you can change the direction of your strokes to add even more darker values to your shading. We are aiming for smooth transition from light to dark. To make it even darker, we will need to go to a softer pencil, in this case a 4B. Remember to keep the far left side slightly lighter to create the illusion of reflected light. You can refer back to the session of the sphere, where the various light factors were explained in more detail. The same principles apply to the cone. The only difference is that the shading and highlights will get narrower at the tip. Switch back to a harder pencil like the B that is used here. We use the same principles we used for the cylinder. Start off light and make the shades gradually darker. Now you can use the kneaded eraser to clean up where you have gone over the edges. The shadow of the cone is going to be in a triangular shape. Use a soft pencil like a 6B to get it really dark. Remember to make the shadow darker closer to the objects and lighter further away from it. While you still have the 6B in your hand, let's deepen some of those shades on the cone. Draw in the cast shadow for the cylinder. Keep it light and then start by shading it darkest near the cylinder and lighter further away from it. Here you can see the shadow is darkest near the cone and lighter further away. This is caused by the ambient light in the scene. Make the shades on the cylinder darker. Use the kneaded eraser to clean up where necessary. The top of the cylinder will stand out better if we lightly shade it at the top with a 2B pencil. Use the kneaded eraser to recover highlights and clean up where you have gone over the edges. Remember, this is only an exercise, so do not worry too much if you go over the lines. Erasers are drawing tools too, not just there to correct mistakes. Keep adding and removing graphite till you feel that you have accurately described the form. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson and that you will have even more fun drawing the basic forms. If you can draw these well, you will find the next sessions much easier to do, because everything else is based on these principles. Continuously practice them even if you are a professional artist.
In this session, we will use the knowledge we've gained in the previous sessions to draw an actual object. I will be using STAEDTLER's tradition pencils for this session. We will now apply the knowledge we have gained from the previous sessions. It is important to return to these exercises on a regular basis as this is your foundation. Look at how I use the basic forms to draw all sorts of objects. Once you understand how to simplify objects into basic forms, drawing will become an easy task. Keep practicing and remember to have fun while you are drawing. Don't worry too much about the mistakes you make. It will become easier the more you draw. See you in the next session.